Welcome back. We're here with Ciara House. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, your involvement with Ciara's House begins at Meade County Detention Center. Tell us what that was like.
Right, so in December of 2017, I started going to a youth group at my then boyfriend's, now husband's Catholic church, and I got really involved with that, but unfortunately in February of 2018, I ended up losing my mom to substance abuse, which was a battle that she dealt with for a long time and unfortunately lost. And about a week after I lost her, the youth group was going to the detention center to speak to the women who were in jail. And as I was sitting there listening to their stories, they were all very familiar to me. They were all struggling with substance abuse. That's why most of them were incarcerated. And I felt very emotional, and I felt very called to tell them about my experience. And so I told them about my mom, and I just asked what I could have done differently because I was just in grieving at that time. But we ended up having a really special connection because a lot of them had children, and so it was kind of a healing experience for both of us because I got to, you know, kind of get some closure from my mom's end, and they got to get some inspiration onto maybe why they could build a better future so they can be there for their kids.
Yeah. So, what was your reaction when you learned that Ciara's House was going to be named after you?
Right. So after that initial trip, I started going back without the group, just with the leader of the prison ministry, Debbie Thompson. And she loved just how I interacted with the women, and she made a passing comment of, if I ever get to open a halfway house for these women, somewhere to stay when they get out so they can get back on their feet, I'll name it after you. And I was like, sure you will. And that's kind of how I felt about it until this past semester. I got a call from Debbie saying, would you be okay if we put your name on a house? And I was like, what? And she and Karen Bond and Nancy Tate, who are the two women that went in with her, put a lot of groundwork in, and for some reason gave me the honor of putting it on the house, and even seeing it on the building is still very surreal, but I'm very grateful.
So, what exactly do you do at Ciara's House?
So for me, I am just like the face of the house. I do as much as I can involvement as far as press and social media coverage, working fundraisers, and showing up at events. Ciara's House itself is meant to house incarcerated women when they get released. A lot of them are in bad situations, whether it be a relationship or a family situation that enables them to go back onto that cycle of addiction. So the main goal of the house is to break that cycle of addiction and reintegrate these people into society, and really just give them an opportunity and second chance that they don't get. So the house itself will be working to give them jobs and help them, you know, become functioning members of society with a little less stigma than they usually face.
And I guess you would say that Ciara's House is pretty successful in everything it does. So, how can people help and get involved with Ciara's House?
Right. So right now we have several applicants, which is very exciting. Of course, we have to wait until their time in incarceration is done. Of course, the thing we need the most is just support, well wishes, prayers, if you feel like that. You can also contact me directly if you want to help. I'm Ciara House. I'm on social media platforms. We will take donations for anything. The main thing right now is that we don't turn anyone away. We have a public group on Facebook, Ciara's House group, that has a link to an Amazon wish list. That's just having basic items like paper towels and notebooks and things for the women's to just have their basic needs met and help them day to day. But anything you want to do, any ideas that you have, come to me. We won't turn anyone away. We're very excited to see what we can do and hopefully, you know, give people a new look on life.
So, you said that I can't recall her name. Her first name was Debbie.
Yes, Debbie Thompson.
Debbie Thompson. So what inspired her to create Ciara's House?
Right. So she has been in the prison ministry sector for years, and when she got in, she saw these women, and she was so excited, and she felt like she was making a big impact. And then a couple months would pass by, and the same women would come back, and she felt very discouraged at first that, oh, she's not doing the right work, until she realized that there was a need to be filled in the community to give people resources, because people who are at a socioeconomic disadvantage and people who are stuck in that cycle of addiction and poverty, it's very hard to break, and they don't get the same opportunities and chances as other people once they get out. So she saw that need and she wanted to fulfill it, but things like that don't happen overnight. Of course, it takes money, and it takes a lot of faith and support from the community. So she worked for 6 years to get enough money and enough people on board to make this happen, so that hopefully she doesn't have to see as many returning faces when she goes to the prison ministry, and she doesn't have to pick women up when there's no one there to pick them up, or give them clothes because they don't have clothes when they get out. We just really want to empower women and, you know, secure their futures, because addicts are people too, and that's really important.
So you said that it's recently new, so it just opened this semester.
Right, so we just opened in August. We had our open house. They bought the building over the summer, or I believe maybe last year in the winter time, and they were able to paint it and work on it. It's a little duplex. They own both sides of it, and they just opened their doors and are accepting applicants, so that whenever they get out, they can come and have a place to stay with bedrooms and kitchen and bathroom, the whole thing.
That's amazing. So how can these people find you other than social media? Like, where is it exactly?
Right, so Ciara's House is in my hometown, which is Brandenburg, Kentucky, in Meade County. It's all through St. John's Catholic Church ministry, but it is non-denominational. You don't have to be Catholic to be involved. So you can always contact St. John's. It is, like I said, in Brandenburg, so it's a little ways away from Murray, but if you want to do anything or give anything, just let me know and I will get it there.
This is amazing. I'm sure you're helping so many women and are going to help so many women get back on their feet. It's just incredible.
Thank you.
It's just amazing. Like, I don't know, I think it's so great that you're giving these women this chance to better themselves when they get out, because unfortunately it is hard for women to build themselves back up after they get out of prison, because it's on their record and it's hard for them to find jobs. And I think it's amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to tell us about Ciara's House?
Just that, you know, the country isn't built for people who are incarcerated, and the prison system itself is not built for women, and so the women face a lot of issues. Our jail doesn't have enough room for them because it originally was not even built with a women's section. So what we really want to do is remind people that we all make mistakes, but we don't all face the same repercussions, and I think that's really important to remember. And that, as far as it goes from my side, is there's always a benefit of speaking up, telling your story. It can be hard, but you never know who it's going to reach or touch. And of course, losing my mom was very difficult, but if I can give someone else the opportunity to be a mom and to, you know, see their kids grow up and accomplish things, that means the world to me. So, you know, you have so much power inside of you that even if you don't see it, you can use it and you can make the world a better place.
Thank you so much. You and Ciara's House are going to do wonderful things.
Thank you.
You're giving these people a new life, and I'm sure they all really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it's time to go. We won't have a show next week due to fall break, but you can catch MSU Tonight again on October 19th on MSU TV 11 or our YouTube channel at the URL below. Have a great fall break.